you struggling to sleep? Yeah. Okay. Give me a second. Let me just turn the light on. Okay. There it is. There's the book. Come here. Come closer. There we go. Okay. This book? Yeah. Okay. Alright, close your eyes now. I got you.
There was once a world hidden inside the ordinary one. A world folded gently between moments. You could walk straight through it and never know it was there. Well, unless you were a child. In that hidden world, colors lingered longer. Shadows whispered secrets, and even the quietest places were full of listening. In that world lived a giant. He was very big, very old, and very tired. Long ago, when the giant was young, he had magic. Real magic. The kind that didn't need spells or wands. He could hear songs in the wind, see faces in the moon, turn a walk into an adventure just by wondering what might happen next. Back then, the world felt wide and warm, full instead of heavy. But years passed. The giant learned to hurry. He learned to worry. He learned to count things instead of noticing them. Slowly, the magic grew quiet. The hills he had once loved became just hills. The stars became, well, far too far away. The world began to look the same every day. I think the magic has gone forever, the giant sighed, sitting alone in his valley. One afternoon, as the sun leaned low and golden, a small girl wandered into the valley. She hummed as she walked, as if the ground itself was keeping her company. She wasn't afraid of the giant at all. "You look lonely," she said, tilting her head. The giant blinked in surprise. "I am. I've lost my magic, and once magic is gone, it never comes back." The girl frowned. That doesn't sound right. She reached into her pocket and pulled out a tiny candle. And in that moment, she lit it. It didn't sparkle. It didn't glow brighter than normal. It looked like, well, it looked just like a normal candle. "This is my magic candle," she said. The giant leaned closer. I only see a flame." The girl smiled. "Look again." She gazed into the flame, calm and quiet, and suddenly it changed. The flame stretched and curled into a dancing dragon, then folded into a tall castle with glowing windows, then became a tiny boat sailing through a sea of stars. The giant's breath caught. Then the flame was ordinary again. I don't see anything," the giant said softly. "That's okay," the girl replied. "You're just looking the wrong way. She placed the candle in his large, careful hands. The giant tried very hard. He stared, he squinted, and he frowned. Nothing happened. "I don't understand," he said, his voice heavy. The girl didn't rush him. She didn't correct him. She simply sat beside him and said, "Try imagining, not thinking." So the giant closed his eyes. He remembered a time when clouds were animals drifting across the sky, when rocks were friends with stories to tell, when questions were more important than answers. He remembered being small inside himself. He opened his eyes and the flame trembled. It became a glowing bird stretching its wings. The giant gasped, and he imagined more. A river made of light, a forest that hummed like a lullaby, a sky that smiled back when you looked at it too long. The candle danced with every thought. "I didn't lose my magic," the giant said. The girl shook her head. "No, you just forgot where you put it." From that day on, the giant walked the world differently. He noticed how shadows played, how silence held stories, how even the smallest thing could feel important if you let them. And the candle? Well, it stayed small, quiet, and ordinary, because the real magic was never the flame. It was in the imagination, patient, gentle, and waiting to be remembered.